Hey everybody, it's Pastor Scott with Lathrop First Christian Church. I wanted to come here today and talk a little bit about a book series that I've been reading. We don't always do book reviews here, but I wanted to take a moment and tell you some of the stuff that I've been doing with this, how it's been formative, not just for myself, but for the family. And so I've been reading this series with my children. And so my children are 10 and 14. That 10-year-old's going to be turning 11 in March, so just a couple months away. And we bought this book series at a children's ministry conference that we went to called Kids Matter. We did that back in the fall, and we just bought one or two books, maybe just even the first book, because we weren't sure how the kids would take to it, if they would like it or not. And they absolutely loved this series. And so we have now bought the first, well, we've bought more, but we have gotten through the first 6 books of the series. And the 12th book will actually be coming out this fall. And so we're through book 6. Hopefully we're going to get caught up to and ready and have that anticipation for when book 12 comes out. But the book series is called The Dead Sea Squirrels. The Dead Sea Squirrels, you can see the author there. Maybe, there you go. He is a co-creator of VeggieTales. He was the original Larry the Cucumber voice of the VeggieTale TV series, movies. And as I read this book, The Dead Sea Squirrels, what I do is we just read it together. I read it. I use special voices for different characters in there, and the kids really enjoy it. So what you really do in this book is you follow the life of Michael, and Michael is in 5th grade. And you follow his life, whether it's about playing video games, interacting with parents, maybe he was playing ball in the house and broke something, but then also about going through school. What happens when you encounter bullies? Things like that. So you're just following the life of Michael and his friends. His best friend is Justin. And book 1 begins by them going on an archaeological dig with Michael's dad. And they go on this dig with Michael's dad and got in a little bit of trouble. But anyways, Michael found these 2 squirrels that were dead. They were really salty and stiff and everything else. They was right next to the Dead Sea. But he gets them home and water gets on them. And they're no longer dead anymore. They're alive. And they're alive and they're talking to Michael and Justin and Sadie, which is another friend of theirs. And so you have these talking squirrels that we thought were dead, but now they're alive. And what makes this really interesting is these squirrels, before they went into the Dead Sea and got all salty and then essentially preserved, they are actually from Galilee 2,000 years ago, and they went down to the Dead Sea on vacation. And that's whenever they got preserved for those 2,000 years. And these squirrels actually encountered Jesus. They heard him preach the Sermon on the Mount. They know the Apostle Paul and him writing to the Galatians. And so as Michael is going through his day-to-day life, you have these squirrels that are telling him about Jesus and trying to help him through how to live a Christian life, saying, hey, let me tell you what Jesus said. And it's a really interesting book series, and we've really enjoyed it. But of course, it's not just Michael that has struggles. These squirrels have struggles as well. They have a house cat there. Michael's family has a house cat named Mr. Nemesis. And Mr. Nemesis does not like Merle and Pearl Squirrel. And so that causes a lot of fun and excitement. At one point, the squirrels end up flying on drones because they watched a documentary about flying squirrels, and so they hopped on drones and started flying around. I mean, the squirrels do some fun stuff too. But this is just a fun series. The books are really short. They're not very long. The chapters are only about 4 or 5 pages apiece. Each book, I'm just looking at book 1, you have 99 pages. That's about, really, I think every book's about that, maybe up to 105 or so. But each chapter is just 3 or 4 pages long. The reading level probably really is for that 4th grader, maybe the 5th grader. Good chapter books, but at home we just read it together, and I do it, and I use fun voices. I always envision Merle Squirrel as kind of being a redneck, and so I read it as if he's a redneck, and I always envision Pearl Squirrel, his wife, as more of a sophisticated person, and so I read her that way, and it just makes it a lot of fun for the whole family. And both my kids, like I said, ages 11 and 14, both my girls really love this series. And I just wanted to pass that along to you as maybe a possibility of something you can purchase to give as a gift, or maybe something you can do with your own family. Now, having said all this, I am told I am supposed to put a disclaimer on here that there is no paid, this is not a paid advertisement. The authors and creators and publishers of this book, which is Tyndall Publishing, are not giving me anything for doing this. It's just something we've been doing, and I wanted to share that with you because I think sometimes parents and grandparents, we go, well, how do we even go about telling some of these lessons, teaching some of these lessons that the kids are really going to enjoy? One way to do it is simply find a great book series and read with them. And so that's what we are doing at our house, and I wanted to share one of the series that we are currently reading. So I'm going to get off here. I will see you later. You have a blessed day.